Hello everyone, and welcome to another News Coolum video and another site review. This one's going to be a twofer. Now, not what some of my Canadian viewers think. This is an American twofer. I'm going to give you two sites reviewed for the price of one. And part of the reason is these are really brother and sister site, however you want to look at it. But they're at rest stops, right? And one is on the northbound side and one is on the southbound side. And there's really no way to access them directly. You'd actually have to drive out of your way to come back and hit both of them, which is actually what I did, but I was looping around anyway. Now, this is a really cool site because it's powered by solar. The company that's actually putting this package together is Envision Solar in San Diego. I'm going to link to their website in the description below. But essentially what they've done is they've put a solar canopy, attached battery backup systems, and then they've actually been funded in this case to use a DC fast charger, the new ChargePoint Express chargers, and they put, like I said, one of these 50 kilowatts on the north side and one of the 50 kilowatts on the south side, and then it just feeds power, like I said, to a battery backup system from solar panels that gets fed into here. These sites are so remote, they don't really have any sort of true power feed, so you're really only going to get enough power from the solar. But again, with the battery backups, it's enough to power a 50 kilowatt charger. Now, I don't know what size of battery backup system they're using, but it seems like it might be a little undersized. Envision Solar, their packages describe up to a 40 kilowatt hour battery pack. That's not going to be good enough, right? Something like the Bolt EV is going to take way more than that in 30 minutes. Any of these newer, longer range electric vehicles will. And in about 45 minutes, they'll absorb basically an entire 40 kilowatt hour battery backup system. And so we're going to need a lot more power than just that, or a lot more energy storage. This is a really busy route, Highway 101 connecting San Francisco and Southern California. It's a highly trafficked route. It's really a lot of electric vehicles, and so this is hardly enough to actually cover that demand. We could easily double or triple the size of these, and I think you'd need something like a Tesla power pack, 100, 150, 200 kilowatt hours minimum of energy storage, because you're going to see these used by 4, 5, 6 vehicles a day easily. But I just wanted to share that because I think these are super cool. It's going to help this route connecting because, again, Recargo had their funding pulled from the California Energy Commission, so they're not going to be doing sites along here anymore. So it's really going to be whatever we get publicly funded plus Electrify America, and that's pretty much all we're going to have. All right, so let's dive into the site score for these two combined sites, right? So in terms of access, these are really easy to get to. It's a highway rest stop. You can't get easier than that. The big issue is, of course, there's no pull-through parking, though trucks with trailers actually can't park in this section anyway. That's based on rest stop rules. And so that's going to have to be a separate issue that's addressed sometime in the future. So these are really only for light-duty vehicles that aren't pulling trailers anyway, but the only other access issue is these are busy, right? And right now it just seems like people are respecting them because it's the right thing to do. Literally every other parking spot in this row was taken and people were double parking on the side when I got here, yet they left this one open and they left the one at the other rest stop open. I don't know, maybe California people are just so used to electric vehicles right now. People are commenting on the charger, they're complimenting it, but nobody's blocking it, which is really cool. So I think that's amazing in and of itself, but I wouldn't count on that, right? If someone wants a parking space and it's all blocked out, they're going to take this spot. So that's the only other knock on it in terms of access. So for access, I'm going to give these sites a 9. Now, in terms of amenities, amenities at rest stops you know, there's lots of amenities, right? It's exactly what you'd want for a stop off the side of the road. Really, the only thing that you're missing here is essentially like a sit-down restaurant or actual food. They have vending machines, they have shade, they have picnic tables, they have bathrooms. You're going to miss some of the other gas station type amenities, things like a squeegee or whatever, you know, maybe a vacuum or a air pump for your tires. But other than that, pretty much everything else you want is here. So for amenities, I'm going to give these sites, again, a 9. Now, in terms of concentration, they're sort of a letdown. There's only one charger per site, and normally I would score it even lower, but I recognize that these sites are only covering traffic from one direction, so it really needs to be treated more like a combination site. Still, there's no level 2 backup that I can see. There's no other options to plug in here, and that sort of knocks it down a little bit further. And I mean, ultimately, you can't avoid the fact that there is only one charger at each location. So for site concentration, I'm only giving it a 3. I really think we need to get at least 2 of these, and probably dual head level 2 at each one of these rest stops as well, just to give a little additional access. And a lot of times, if there's no solar and the batteries are depleted here, you're going to end up having to charge at a lower rate anyway. So in terms of site concentration, yeah, this is getting a 3. I'd like to see more of these, and then it bumped the score up. Then in terms of location, I'm going to give this a solid 9, right? Again, California, a lot of electric vehicles, Highway 101, connecting 2 major EV owning population centers, and it's an underserved corridor. This is right off the freeway. You know, the next charger heading north, the next 50 kilowatt charger heading north is almost 100 miles away. Right now, the winds are blowing probably 15, 20 miles an hour. It's going to be hard for an electric vehicle to drive this corridor up to San Francisco without a charger like this, or you know, make it to some of the faster chargers that are further south. And now in terms of speed, you know, it's a 50 kilowatt charger. This is a ChargePoint Express. These are capable, with liquid cooled cables and everything else, of going up to 400, 500 kilowatts. But these are 50 kilowatt chargers, 125 amps it looks like, the basic ones that ChargePoint's now making themselves. And that's good, right? It's average. It's a score of 5 for speed, right? So those 50 kilowatt chargers, I'm just going to bucket them all in that sort of 5. If you're down to a 100 amp charger, then I'll knock it down below that score of 5. But I'm going to give these a score of 5. I was tempted to knock it down a little bit because they are kind of inconsistent with how much power the battery has and how much the solar panels are producing. But we'll just even it out as a flat 5. Now that gives it a total site score of 35. It's a basic C, right? 70 out of 100. And it's a really good first effort. It's an amazing way they've implemented it. These chargers, I want to see Envision solar chargers deployed in other places. I think these are maybe more ideal for remote rest stops or on not so highly trafficked routes, but this makes a great backup, a great alternative, right? I mean, I charged up before I got here, so it's not crucial that I charge here, but I went in knowing that these are sort of new, untested chargers. But even still, I think moving forward with some of the faster charger sites, Electrify America, places like that, I'll treat these the same as I treat the 25 kilowatt chargers, as backups, emergency chargers along the route, or if I happen to need to stop at a rest stop and use the bathroom, if it's available, great. If it's not, no worries, I'll just move on afterward. But that's sort of how I'm going to approach these chargers moving forward. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of this Envision solar charger. Do you think it's as cool as I do? I think this is actually an amazing implementation. I can't wait to see more of these. I'm really excited, happy to see them. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and thank you for watching.